welcome to the very first Charleston SIT conference. The best thing about this conference today is you don't have to listen to adults all day. Sometimes you get to come and listen to other kids tell you how cool they are and they're using technology, and we hope you guys enjoy the day. We have a lot of introductions and things to do today, a great keynote for you, and when you leave this room at the end of the day, we're going to let you go out through the building and listen to each other and have a great day. But remember to ask a lot of questions so you can win some fabulous prizes, and we'll tell you about that right after the keynote. So we ready to go?
We're ready. Good morning. Can I have one more good morning, please? Good morning. Let's get excited. Let's show some energy. This is going to be a great day. Mindy just told you, but thank you so much for coming. Welcome to Eastern Illinois University. We're excited that you're here today. This is going to be a fun day. There are about 125 of us here today as far as students, so that's awesome. I want to take a little time this morning to introduce to you the students involved or the SIT committee members that made this day possible. So when I introduce them, you can just give them a big round of applause, okay? Because they made this fun day possible, and they're right over here in these blue shirts. So our committee members, if you'll just wave your hand, Brad Barker from Consolidated Communications, let's give him a big round. Kim Irvin from Eastern Illinois University. Dr. Kiran Padmaraju from Eastern Illinois University. Cheryl Clapp from Eastern Illinois University. Marianne Patnaugh from Charleston Unit School District. Joellen Hickenbottom from Eastern Illinois University. And my name is Beth Craig, and I'm from EIU. So thank you so much for coming today.
Hey, nice to meet you, Kathy and Debbie.
We also have Debbie Meadows here from Eastern Illinois University. And Kathy Brashear from Eastern Illinois University. So that makes up our planning committee. We also want to say thanks to, we have some sponsors. Sponsors here today that we want to mention. Can everybody hear me? Okay. State Farm Insurance. I don't know if you know about this, but this conference is taking place throughout the state today. There's one up in Bloomington Normal. There's two in Charleston, and one in DeKalb, and one here. So we're super excited about that. The Bloomington Normal Education Alliance, Consolidated Communications, Charleston McDonald's, Walmart, the EIU Bookstore, and the EIU School of Continuing Education. And now for the very first piece of the event today, we have a great keynote speaker lined up for you this morning. He's with us here today. The name of his presentation is We Live in Amazing Times, and his name is Dr. Tom Grissom, and I'm going to give you just a little bit of information for you, and then I'm going to turn the floor over to him. Tom is the director of Institutional Technology Center here at EIU. He grew up on a farm in rural Illinois, not too far from EIU, and he's a lifelong learner. He is dedicated his career to improving teaching and learning and is a strong advocate of using technology. So he's perfect today to learn something new every single day. He received his Ph.D. from Indiana State University in Curriculum and Instruction Design. And he's the creator and producer of Tech Talk for Teachers, which is a podcast about teaching and learning with technology. And you know that if you listen to those, his motto is to keep on learning. So sit back today, be amazed at the capabilities of new technologies that make it possible for you to learn about and explore any given subject. If you'll help me in welcoming, giving a big round of applause to Dr. Tom Grissom.
Thank you. Test. Hear me okay? All right. Thank you very much. What I would like to do to begin with today is just kind of take a look back. I want to do a little bit of history because history kind of tells us where we're going in the future. And as I go through the different slides today, I would like for you to think about some of the first technology that you can remember, and then think about where that might be going as you get to college and as you graduate and get out there into your career of choice. So I thought I would start back with my grandfather's time. And back in the day, when my grandfather was a young man, this was one of the first computers that we had. It was called the UNIVAC. It took up an entire room. So this was developed back in World War II. My grandfather was a vet of World War II, and they used it to calculate artillery calculations. As time progressed, you're going to see a trend here, and you'll continue to see that trend. As time progressed in the 1960s, 1970s, they went from room-sized computers down to computers that would fit inside of a closet. So here's an IBM System 3 computer, very popular computer back in that time. Then something amazing happened. In 1975, there was a group of hobbyists got together, and all of the components and things, you see the glass case there in the top, as the electrical engineers got better and better at making things smaller and smaller, we finally had the first personal computer. And this was 1975. That was one of those amazing times. Shortly after this, a couple of guys by the name of Bill Gates and Paul Allen decided that this needed some software. And they started a little company known as Microsoft. A year later, another couple of guys working in a garage by the name of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak created Apple Computer. As we went along, the next evolution, there were several generations of personal computers. And then, as I was just beginning my career here at EIU as a student, the IBM personal computer came on the map. And this should look somewhat familiar because we have a monitor, we have the main CPU, the central processing unit there in the middle. Let me see if this... So the monitor, the CPU, and a keyboard, not unlike many of the computers that we're used to today. So we have a widescreen monitor, the CPU, and keyboard. So this form factor has been around for a long time. The next evolution, people decided that it would be nice if we could have a computer that could go with us. And thus the first laptops were developed. I have one that was very similar. The picture shows you one thing, but let me bring this out front here. This is actually the first portable computer out there. This was my first laptop. You set it down, it weighs about 30 pounds. We called them luggables back in the day because you had to lug them around with you. But the idea behind it, once again, was we had the monitor, CPU unit all together here, and then a keyboard unit right here. So that was the laptop. Then we had, I got ahead of myself there, after this, more development, more miniaturization. As the engineers were able to make chips smaller and smaller, we ended up with form factors like the tablet PC, the netbook. Thankfully, this is my laptop today. Weighs about 3 pounds. Much more affordable. That one, back in the day, cost around $2,500 to $3,000. These are around $300 today. So much more portable. And now, the next revolution is the iPad, the slates, the Android tablets, the Samsung Galaxies. We're going to see a lot of different computers in this form factor. This is amazing, but what's even more amazing is the next generation, which we kind of use the generic title smartphones. But that's really a bit of a misnomer. They're really smart computers. They have all the processing capabilities of that original portable computer back there. And that's just amazing. Which brings us back here, back to my day. The last revolution that's been going on for the last 10 years is something known as cloud computing. So what we're doing is we're taking devices like this and we're connecting them to mainframe computers in large rooms, not unlike back in the day with the first computer. So how many of you have Facebook accounts or have heard of Facebook? YouTube, those types of things, all those are run off servers inside very, very large rooms. So we're using our mobile phones to connect back, which does a couple of things. So what does this mean for you?